BoKlok housing, the idea is affordable housing for the many people. That's the kind of foundation for the whole thing. We are trying to create good homes for the many people. They shouldn't be too expensive, they shouldn't be too complicated or complex, but still offer good basic living. And the houses are built or assembled of modules, and the modules are made in a house factory. So when they arrive to the site, they are actually fully furnished. So there's everything, kitchen, toilet, everything inside, and they are just put together almost like pieces of Lego. So that allows us to be much faster. And in construction industry, time is money. So if the construction site lasts 8 months instead of 1.5 years, there's kind of a lot to gain in that one. And then also because we can reuse the same design over and over, we can save in the design cost, also actually in marketing cost. Target we have at Skanska is that only 2% or less waste to landfill from a building site. That's kind of in all our building construction sites. Here it's quite easy to achieve actually, because there's not much construction on site. I mean, it's the foundation, it's the groundworks, but then the houses come assembled. One of the key things was to find out what could our typical customer, and that's a single mom or dad with medium income with 1 kid, how much can they spend money on housing every month? So that kind of put the price target on us. We knew how much the apartments can cost. Our architects make several different floor plans, and we put them out in a big consumer survey. And it was a conjoint analysis where we tested different floor plans, and we also tested different elements of the concept. Whether people would like to have a sauna in their apartment, or no sauna at all, or sauna on the yard, or if they would like to have a vegetable plot, or if they would like to have a bicycle storage, and different kind of things we tested. And then based on those tests, we then chose one type of floor plans that they kind of the majority liked more. And then we did new tests with those floor plans, and we had a smaller groups, discussion groups with our 3 main target groups. So there were young singles and couples, there were families with small children, and then there were plus 50 singles and couples. And they were then free to comment how would they improve the floor plan, or if they lived there, how would they use the apartment. And based on that, the architect again took it to the drawing board and adjusted it and improved it. And then those floor plans we then further sent to IKEA, to their interior designers, and said, okay, how would you furnish this? And they came up with different ideas, and one very kind of concrete idea was that the balcony door was actually 10 centimeters closer to the end wall. And they said, if you move that 10 centimeters, you can actually place the couch along the wall or in the middle of the room. And we said, sure, I mean, there's no window anywhere yet. It's just a drawing. So we changed the window a bit. And now you can actually have the couch in different places. And there were small details like that where IKEA is very clever in their kind of design competence. So, and those end results, those 3 floor plans are the floor plans we are using even today, and we haven't changed them a bit. People commented on the floor plans, for example, the placement of the kitchen. They like the idea we had where the kitchen was a bit more separate, like in this solution, and where light goes through the whole apartment. So, and this was one of the things we like most as well. They absolutely love the idea of having a joint sauna on the yard, and it's very popular and it's very used, and it's kind of a thing from the past. Taking your towel and your shampoo and walking across the yard and having the sauna with your family. So it's very sweet. So it's nice. In one of the early solutions, which reminded quite a lot of this one, the entrance to the apartment was only through kitchen. So you couldn't get to the living room without going through the kitchen, and that people felt was strange. They were missing a kind of second entrance to the living room. The first big test was online, and the focus groups, they were actually also online, but they were based on invitation, only a little number of people. I think there were maybe 10 people in each group, specific target group, and it was 2 hours workshops, and they were sitting in their homes and chatting with us, and we were placing them questions. And I really like that, because I've done lots of live focus groups, and you always have the loud people and you have the quiet people, and quite often it tends to be that there's somebody who is an opinion leader, and quite many of the others feel that they should follow the opinion leader. And then you don't know if the results are what they are because the opinion leader thought so or they all thought so. So actually, when you do it online as a chat, I mean, even the loud ones need to be quiet because they are typing sometimes. So everybody, and because they don't see each other, they can be much more open because they don't know who the others are. They just know the first name. So there's no kind of, I'm ashamed of saying this, and we are talking about living and home, so it's quite personal. So I thought that was a very good experience in this case, actually, to use online focus groups. Especially in the early stages, we were very involved with one of the big cities in capital region. They participated in the workshops because they need good housing in their city, and they want people to buy their apartments instead of renting them. So, and there were IKEA, and there were different technical experts, and there were people from Hanken business school, actually making customer studies from the older project as well. So I think it was first time we gathered such a broad group of people from different backgrounds around one table, and then we continued with the consumer studies. Hanken School of Business had the idea generation tools, and they facilitated the workshops, which was very good because it was an external partner, so it brought some kind of structure to the whole. The 3 best things about the project, I think one was to gather all these different competencies around one table. We learned a lot, and I think in the end it made the development process faster because we got all the input in kind of gathered quite quickly. Actually testing with consumers and very properly has helped us a lot, because when you do a standardized product, you lose all the advantage if you're changing it all the time. So it needs to be good enough from the beginning. So the consumer input there was vital. Then I think it was nice to gather people around, in a way, good cause, because we are trying to create something that we are lacking in Finland. We are trying to create a product that is available for many more people than normal new produced homes are. Always work with the customers early on, talk with consumers or whatever your target group is. Test it early on, because you win so much time in the later phases. I think that's one of the key things. Now when we are developing a new product, we also need to collaborate with the municipalities much more, because municipalities have the monopoly of zoning and city planning, and we must create and design a product that can be put in those city plans. So that's a very vital part of it. And then it's very fun to work with different experts, because in a construction company or residential development company, not all the wisdom lies there, definitely not. Find a good partner. I mean, we used a research company that we really felt were up to the task, had good tools, for example, the chat focus group things. can use technology in a smart way. Put enough time and thinking there in that phase so you get it right, because you will save that money later on in the process. Quite often you hear that, oh, we don't have the time now and we are in such a hurry and we have to get the product out in the market. But if the product is wrong, you will lose that time many ways and also money. So I think that's one of the key learnings.